Love should be matured enough to understand. True love is born from understanding. Revati Rahu brings the sense of understanding. A girlfriend having Rahu in Revati is not a bad choice, and a boyfriend is also not a bad choice. Great healers, Reiki masters, are born with Rahu in Revati Nakshatra, simply because these men and women have natural tendency towards healing, towards shamanism. Shamanism is a religious practice that involves a practitioner who is believed to interact with the spirit world through altered states of consciousness, such as trance. The goal of this is usually to direct these spirits or spiritual energies into the physical world for healing or some another positive purpose. Mysticism, spirituality always comes naturally to the natives having Rahu in Revati. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest scientists, a genius, had his Rahu in Revati Nakshatra. And probably after Albert Einstein, there has been no scientist other than Nikola Tesla who has openly expressed the significance of God consciousness. Nikola Tesla quotes, "The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being. And if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power." How deep are these words of Nikola Tesla? How to express the significance of these words? Only a meditative being can relate, can connect to these powerful words of Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla has Rahu in Revati. So you see, Rahu in Jupiter's sign and Mercury's nakshatra can work wonders if other aspects are positive and supportive for the native's overall growth. The man who wrote the book Be Here Now, Baba Ramdas, whose birth name was Richard Alpert, and who later became the disciple of Neem Karoli Baba, also has a Rahu in Revati Nakshatra. A Harvard professor, Richard Alpert, came to know about Neem Karoli Baba, and his curiosity made him travel all the way to India, Vrindavan, where he met Neem Karoli Baba and became his disciple. Rahu in Revati often brings transformation. Richard Alpert, a Harvard professor, was transformed and became Baba Ramdas. Acting, poetry, drama comes naturally to these natives simply because Rahu is in a watery sign, emotionally rich Pisces zodiac, and in the nakshatra of Mercury, Revati, which also signifies speech, vocabulary, imagination, dialogue delivery. One of the finest Hollywood actress, Meryl Streep, also has a Rahu in Revati Nakshatra. Rahu in Revati brings fame in art as soon as it gets the necessary support of Jupiter, Mercury, and a suitable Mahadasha. The wonderful legendary Canadian singer Celine Dion also has a Rahu in Revati Nakshatra. Celine Dion is noted for the song My Heart Will Go On, which also served as the main soundtrack to James Cameron's blockbuster film Titanic. Rahu in Revati can work wonders. When the nakshatra is positive, when the nakshatra has the power to bring prosperity, success, and when the planet is a friend, then the magic happens. Mercury, the lord of Revati Nakshatra, is not just a friend of Rahu, but a guru of Rahu. And so when the disciple, that is Rahu, is in the master's abode, that is in Mercury's nakshatra, then everything is going to be alright, as long as Mercury is well placed in the chart. The most difficult men and women are those who have retrograde Mercury in their chart. Whenever I interact with someone having retrograde Mercury, I generally avoid meeting that person again. They are a great pain to this human world. Retrograde Mercury is to some extent better only if Jupiter casts its 5th, 7th, or 9th aspect on it. If you have a boss whose Mercury is retrograde, you are in a great trouble. And if you have a subordinate whose Mercury is retrograde, then you are going to have trouble from such a fellow. In 90% cases, retrograde Mercury cases are difficult to handle. The remaining 10% slip out because of certain positive aspects from Jupiter or Sun. However, it should be noted that retrograde Mercury along with Rahu in Revati is indeed a very sensitive placement. In such a case, the positive results of Rahu in Revati are not seen. The power of Rahu in Revati is so much that along with great artists, thinkers, it also has given birth to the greatest dictator, Mao Zedong. Mao was the founding father of the People's Republic of China, which he ruled as the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party from its establishment in 1949 until his death in 1976. Mao had his Rahu in Revati Nakshatra in the 6th house of his horoscope. Rahu in the 6th house is a great placement to overcome your enemies and attain victory. Our first Prime Minister, Honorable Jawaharlal Nehru, also had a Rahu in the 6th house. Always remember, failure comes only when we forget our ideals and objectives and principles. Attraction towards foreign land, attraction towards foreigners comes naturally to Rahu in Revati natives. They are always interested in that which is not known, which is foreign in essence. The house matters ruled by Jupiter in your birth chart gets special boost when Rahu is in Revati Nakshatra. In Gemini ascendant chart, Jupiter rules 7th and 10th house. 7th house is not just about marriage or sexual union. 7th house is also about the society, your social connection. And so, this Rahu in Revati brings a boost in social status. Popularity is possible with Rahu in Revati. And 10th house Rahu anyhow makes you run and run and run until you attain your career goals. Boost in business or career is seen when Rahu is in the 10th house and Jupiter Mercury is well placed and not retrograde. Desires is what Rahu is, but the quality of desire is defined by the sign and nakshatra in which Rahu is placed. And so always remember, you can never drop your desires, but you can always raise the quality of your desires. Desire has not to be destroyed, it has to be purified. Desire has not to be dropped, it has to be transformed. Your very being is desire. To be against it is to be against yourself and against all. You cannot drop desire simply because you are born because of your desire. Rahu is the very root cause of your birth, and so the focus should be on raising the quality of your desire. The desire of having sex is natural. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But with whom you want to have sex, when do you want to have sex, is what decides the quality of your desire of having sex. Sex with awareness raises the quality of desire of having sex. Sex with no awareness degrades the quality of desire of having sex. Nowadays people just go to parties and they don't even think but just jump in the bed with any woman or man after the party is over. And then when misery starts flowing in their life, they come and ask, what is wrong with my life? Nothing is wrong with your life. Only what is wrong is within you, your ignorance, your unawareness. The world is not a problem. The problem is your unawareness. It is only through awareness that you can deal with the uneasiness of the mind.